It's time for the Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John Livestream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the Trucker John Livestream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John Livestream is the best thing you've ever seen. Shout for the Trucker John Livestream, on a good time. Oh yeah, the Trucker John Livestream, come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time. The Trucker John Livestream is gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the Trucker John Livestream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John Livestream is the best thing you've ever seen.
It's time for the Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah, the Trucker John Livestream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time. Trucker John Livestream. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the Trucker John Livestream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John Livestream is the best thing you've ever seen. It's time for the Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah, the Trucker John Livestream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time. Trucker John Livestream. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the Trucker John Livestream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch him out, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John Livestream is the best thing you've ever seen.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John. Testing 1, 2, 3. Let me know if you guys can hear me with a big old thumbs up. Hopefully. You can hear me. I think I'm plugged in. I got a green light. So hopefully you guys can hear me before I start talking too much. I want to make sure you can hear me. So give me a thumbs up just to make sure you can hear me. Thank you, Roxanne and Nirmaj, for the thumbs ups. Okay. And Brooklyn. Thank you guys so much on this glorious Memorial Day, the day that we remember the fallen, right? Absolutely. Remember, never forget those that have made the ultimate sacrifice, even if we didn't agree with some of the wars that we've been in, which I haven't. But still, we have folks that are willing to sign up and give their lives for this country. I do look a little translucent as I'm look. By the way, I know I switched subjects. I can see a star poking through. I was trying to get this thing set. Uh, it's very tricky to get this green screen going between either I'm too translucent or the background is just too faded. So I think we're going to have to live with that star poking through my head. By the way, I'll take one for the team. Anyhow, happy Memorial Day, everyone. Remember those that have fought and died to preserve democracy, regardless of I was never a fan of Vietnam. The more I look at the screen, the more I can see how translucent I am. If it's really, let me know if it really bothers you. I'll try to go back in and adjust it. Maybe I'm overdoing it, overstating it. Anyhow, but thanks for being here, guys. It is 12:11 p.m. here in the Pacific time zone, and it's already 94 degrees. I was outside a little while ago. I went to go pay my rent. It was 92, and it felt every bit of 92. It was hot. That was a hot walk over down to the office. Michael McGandrew says the ghost of John. He used to be a real solid guy. Brooklyn, your face is solid. I can kind of see the flag, poking through my head there. But anyhow, whatever. Search for you says it doesn't matter or it doesn't bother me. Anyhow, guys, thanks for being here. This way you can see that it says Memorial Day. Instead of me blocking it. So maybe it's a good thing that I have it this way. 92 degrees. It's hot. I have a feeling that we're not going to see anything under 90 degrees until maybe late September. Probably not till October. We are in the 90s. We've already got some hundreds coming up in a couple of days. 104, 106 in a few days. This is crazy. Even for Las Vegas, even for the Mojave Desert, we are a good 10 to 12 degrees above average temperature for this time of year. Usually in May and even in June, we have some really nice 70s and 80s, 80-degree days, mid 80s. This year, we're just going right to the 90s and hundreds. So it sucks. Global warming sucks. So please buy an EV. Last night I saw a few Teslas on the road, and I saw a couple of them with stickers. One of them said, "What was it? It was sort of in almost like rainbow colors. It was. I think it said something like, "I'm a member of the." What was it? Something. A member of the. I don't like Elon Musk club anymore, or something like that. It was a very elaborate sticker that they put on their $50,000 Tesla or whatever it was. Well, it was a Model 3, so it was probably a $40,000 Tesla. And I think I saw another sticker. It was something like ones that we've seen, like, I bought this before Elon Musk was a Nazi or something like that, or before I knew he was a Nazi. Anyhow, looking at this, who's here? We got Jolie first. Thank you, Jolie, for being here on this Memorial Day. I know you guys, it's Memorial Day. If you have some other place to be or whatever, I completely understand. Thank you for spending Memorial Day with me for the next couple hours or so. I appreciate you. I know that people could be out. You could be out barbecuing with your family and your friends, or you could be out doing something else. But you're with me, and I appreciate that. Mr. Spock is here. Fascinating. Live long and prosper. Oh wait, is that the thing? Yeah. Sandy Foltz is here. Hey, Sandy, good to see you. Mr. Bob Newell, I can't hear you. Is here. Nirmaj. Hey, Nirmaj, good to see Nirmaj. Michael Andrews. And Michael Andrews right off the bat with a $2, or no, $1 super sticker, I guess. Thank you. Yippee to Michael McAndrews. Thank you so much. Good to see Michael here in the chat, hanging out. Andrea's here. Hey, I will be listening. Hopefully you're still here. I got a little bit of late start. I heard Andrea on Hal's show this morning. That was kind of cool to hear Andrea on there. And let's see, we got the Soulcraft. Soulcraft's here. Says, greetings, TJ, and Pizza Feet lovers. Happy Memorial Day, friends. Thank you, Soulcraft. Good to see you. Soulcraft, be back taking Dio to poop. You named your dog after Ronnie James. Well, good for you. Brooklyn, yeah, Brooklyn's in the house. Brooklyn, yo, Brooklyn, yo. Good to see Brooklyn, New York 471. Is that your area code, by the way? Just wondering. Who else we got in here? We got Roxanne Epstein. Hey, Roxanne. Roxanne. Good to see Roxanne. Thanks for being here on this glorious Memorial Day. Hope you all had a good weekend. I know here in Vegas, it's been really busy. This is one of the busiest weekends of the year for Las Vegas, by the way. Now, I will admit, though, it's as busy as it has been. I've been doing taxi driving, very busy. It does look a little bit down, just a little bit. Just saying. If the numbers come out, I bet you they're going to say, yeah, we're down 2.6% from this time, same time last year, or something like that. Alvin Stubbs here. Hey, Alvin, good to see you. Paul J. Yo, my truckers. AM, hello back at you. Gary, can I call you Gary? Says, hey, TJ, hey, y'all. I just got out of the shower, shaving and stuff. Listening, not reading. And this was probably a half an hour ago, so you might be all dried off and ready to type or something. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know what you guys do. Brooklyn says, this is like waiting for Kamala to come out during her speeches. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, I'm getting you pumped up, man. Getting everybody pumped up. Ready to go. Nurmudge sent 5 Trucker John memberships. Thank you, Nurmudge. Yippee to Nurmudge. You get a yippee. Whenever you do anything, if you do a super sticker or a super chat, or if you gift some memberships, you get a yippee. So yippee. And look at there. We got Gen X George, Marcus Mills, Sandy Harrington, Maggie May, and Pat Ludwig. All got those, and some of those are names I've never heard of, and some of them are. And so hopefully you guys will get those memberships and come on in and hang out. Now, we are right now multicasting to Twitch. So if you prefer Twitch or you like to hang out on Twitch, we're on Twitch as Trucker John 3, I think it might be. And then I'm also on Facebook, but I'm not on. I always failed to mention this. I'm not on my regular Facebook channel. I'm on the Progressive Radio Station list channel that I created like 15 years ago. I tried to create this list. This is back when people used to still listen to the radio. And as I was driving across country, I was finding stations. I think Air America may have already been disbanded by then, but a lot of those shows, I just kind of call them the Air America, at least era, because a lot of these shows were never on Air America, like Stephanie Miller. But I would find these channels that had radio stations that had these lineups with, Stephanie Miller, and even back with Al Franken was on, had a show. Tom Hartman, of course, Randy Rhoads, sending my best thoughts of healing to Randy. We should all do that right now. But Norman Goldman had a show. Even Rachel Maddow had a show back then. Uh, Ron Reagan Jr. Remember? So anyhow, stations that would have that kind of a lineup. I was creating this progressive radio station list, and I put it on this. I made the channel on YouTube. I mean, on Facebook, called the Progressive Radio Station List. So right now, I'm multicasting this very show to the Progressive Radio Station List on Facebook, in case anyone's interested. Roxanne Epstein's here. Michael Andrews, the ghost of John. He used to be a real solid guy. I think I already read that one. I read it twice. Walter Makarovich, never forget ever. Absolutely. Never forget our fallen. We shouldn't. It's a sad state of affairs where our government seems to want soldiers, to go do their bidding, but when they come back a little tore up, they don't want to take care of them so much. It's hard to get, especially Republicans. The Republican politicians seem to not really give a fuck once they've used them. So let's make sure we keep our I know this is about the fallen, and not just, but when we talk about also just in general, about veterans in general, let's always keep them in our hearts and keep them front and center, and make sure they get the care that they need, whether it's physically, emotionally, it just isn't right somehow how our veterans get treated. And like I say, I know this is Memorial Day, so we're remembering those that have fallen, but in the whole big picture of our military and our veterans, that I think we need to make sure that we treat them with the respect and with the care, give them the care that they deserve. AM says, well, Mother Nature is trying to tell us global warming is not a hoax. Now, a lot of people will say, I've heard more and more where even right-wingers are finally admitting that global warming is real, but they still will not make the extra step to admit that it's man-made. And they'll say, well, that's just the way it is. It's cycles, and this has happened before, and the planet warms. But I don't know if we've ever seen the planet warm this much, this fast. And also correlate exactly when you put sort of the Industrial Revolution, and especially when automobiles were and more internal combustion engines in automobiles and trucks and trains and planes and farm equipment. Once that started going full bore, early 1900s, you could see the CO2 levels. Here you see like the kind of fossil fuel industry, and you see the CO2 levels. They're on a parallel chart. It just, so I mean, that's convincing. They say correlation is not causation or whatever, but it's good enough for me. Is good enough for me. Brooklyn says, I bought this car when Elon had only 5 kids. I saw that sticker too. Not yesterday. I think I've seen that one. Yeah. Or someone said that in chat. I don't know, but I think I've seen it on the car also. Cynthia C says, anybody that has currently serving, thanks for service from Utah, USA. Utah, USA. Thank you, Cynthia C, for being here, by the way. Good to see you. Guys, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. I've lost 6 subscribers over the last week or so. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm pissing people off, maybe. Maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. I've lost 6 of you somehow. Gin up the base. Let's go, Giants. You with your Giants. Shohei's about ready to take the mound, dude. Watch out. Watch out. There's Fancy. Hey, Fancy. Good to see Fancy in the chat. Fancy. Fancy seeing you here. Tim Farrell's here. I had a cat named David Bowie. I insisted everyone use both names, and that's right, she knew her name. She died too young as well. Oh, well, you had that. That was a sad ending. Well, that's a pretty cool name, David Bowie. Now, I would be you. I would probably if I was hanging out with you, you would probably get mad at me because I would always probably go. I probably wouldn't always call the cat David Bowie, even though it's a cool name. It's like my daughter. Her she has a dog named Charlie, and Charlie's a really cool dog. But every time I see him, I'll call him Chuck. I'll call him Charles. I'll call him Charlie. Just whatever I feel like. I kind of like mix it up. And the dog answers to all three. This dog is a highly intelligent dog, by the way. I think it's one of those. What do you call it? Uh, what are those poodle skipper doos, whatever he is. But he's a really good dog, smart dog, and he will answer to Charlie, Charles, or Chuck. Yeah. MJ Daniels here. Hey, MJ, good to see you on this Memorial Day as we hang out. Fancy's here. Cynthia C with those truck emojis. Truck emojis, I guess I'm calling them. In there, Woody Mays is here. Hey, wait, Woody Mays says Montreal native here. May your Memorial Day be protected from Trump's faux pas and from his gutting of the whole thing. Yeah, thank you, Woody Mays. Absolutely. Thanks for being here. Not sure if I've seen you before, so thank you and welcome. Welcome to the jungle. I don't know. Welcome to the driver's lounge is what I usually say. The Soulcraft says, I always thought vets, especially those that served during wartime, should pay no taxes after. That'd be nice. Get them something, you know? I mean, we're supposed to have the VA, and the VA is supposed to be really there for all their medical needs and stuff. But yeah, let's make sure that they have housing and clothing and food and their medical needs taken care of, emotional and mental needs taken care of. Just do it all, man. They deserve it. Anyone who's willing to put their life on the line for this country deserves to come home and really be treated like little kings and queens. I think that's why I think. Pam J says my dog Buddy will come to me when I call him unless he's doing something more important. So never. Yeah, Buddy's like, fuck you. I'm digging right now. Do you not see that I'm digging in the yard, your beautiful yard? Let's see. David Willer, travels with Charlie. Steinbeck's dog was named Charlie. Well, there you go. There's Andrea. Hello, Andrea. Good to see you. Thanks for dropping on in, hanging out with us for a bit. Always good to see you. Woody Mays says, hey, my girl. Oh, Andrea, good to see you. It was nice to hear you at House Sparks this morning. Who is this House Sparks we speak of? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Susie Jones here. Hey, Susie, good to see you. Thanks for hanging out with us today. So anyhow, it's a Memorial Day. Yeah, we want to remember the fallen. What else is going on? What else should we talk about? Is there anything special we should talk about? Should we talk about how Trump is just hard to believe it, but getting, I think, stranger and stranger and weirder and more, I don't know, just fading away more and more each day. That whole commencement speech thing he was doing the other day, where he was just babbling on and rambling about trophy wives. For a minute there, I thought he was talking about himself. I'm like, dude, you're talking about yourself, aren't you? And then I saw someone on Substack, I think, or somewhere posted where Trump was saying, I don't know, he was cutting into Biden. He was bragging on Biden about something, and then the poster said, all the people that he, I think he said no one enlisted or no one signed up to be in the military under Obama. Obama. I mean Obama. Boy, Obama. Oh, Biden. No, under Biden. No, and like he's bringing back all this recruitment or something. And the poster said all of all those graduates that he was speaking at all joined during the Biden administration. Donald Trump is such an idiot and he's such a moron. And there are people that they absolutely adore him. I get writers all the time just seeing the Trump hotel here in Vegas. They get all they get all warm and or whatever. There's a something comes over them. They're like, "Oh, there's the Trump." They call it the Trump Tower. It's not the Trump Tower. It's the Trump International. It's a hotel. It's not even a casino because the guy can't get a gaming license. If that, in Las Vegas, he cannot get a gaming license because he is such an imbecile and he's such a lawbreaker. He's such a untrustworthy person that he can't even get a gaming license. But they see his Trump Tower. It's not the Trump Tower. It's just a Trump fucking hotel. And they get all like, oh, they act like it's fucking Mecca or something. I don't know. Like it's hallowed ground. Fancy, demented. Yeah, that might be the word I was searching for. Let's see. Alvin Stoop. Everybody booed Tom Brady at Indy. So funny. Good. I don't like that son of a bitch either. I've never liked Tom Brady. At the year at the I went into Resorts World last night to take a leak, and it's the first time I've been inside Resorts World. Very nice, very nice. I don't know why they say Resorts World is having problems, but just from walking in, it looked very beautiful. Anyhow, I went into the restroom to take a leak, and you know how in the urinals, the male urinals, they have those like little plastic things inside the urinal. For some reason, I don't even know what the purpose is. Maybe it makes it so you don't splash your piss on yourself too much. Maybe it dampens the splash. I don't know. But this one, the brand name of that little plastic thing that you piss on, it was apparently is Brady, and it said Brady. And I remember I was taking a leak, and I'm looking down, and I'm pissing on this thing, and it says Brady, and I just sort of laughed to myself. And there were like some other dudes in there. I don't know what they thought I was laughing at. Maybe they thought I was laughing at my little dick or something. I don't know, but I was kind of laughing because then inside. I didn't say it out loud. I probably should have said it out loud, but I didn't say it out loud. But to myself, I just said, like, it feels good pissing on Brady. So that was my little recollection of me taking a leak last night, pissing on Brady. I was pissing on Brady. Susie Jones here. Afternoon. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing now. Marcus Mills is here. Hey, Marcus, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for hanging on out. In here again. Andrew, they showed it on Instagram. What did they show on Instagram? I may have missed the thread or what you guys are talking about. Fancy says he is such an ass. Are we talking about Brady? I guess we're talking about Brady. Woody May says Trump is a selfish prick, amongst other things. Selfish prick is just one of the many of his faults. Susie Jones says his Schuth school post, was lewd, rude, and socially unacceptable. Um, Fancy, in regards to the Trump Hotel, I believe, says, I'd tell everyone to look out for bed bugs. That'd probably be good advice. Sandy Fold says, hi, John, I'm back home. I didn't know you had left home, but I'm glad you made it back safely. AM says, if he, Donald Trump, could just keep his mouth shut, he would appear to be intelligent. Right, right, but he can't help himself. He thinks he's saying some good shit. He thinks this is gold. Oh man, they're gonna love this as I ramble on about some dude and the trophy wives and shit. Pam J says maybe John could read Schmidt's response. It's not long and very accurate. I would have to find it. Michael McGandress, what a nice story, John. Wasn't it though? I thought that was a good story about me pissing on Brady. It's not every day that I get to piss on Brady. So. Christina Weibel says, days without Trump being a moron, 0. Thank you, Texas Paul. Yeah, he's got his little thing in the background. Still waiting for that at least one day. Can we get one day? Can we have at least one day, Trump, without you being a fucking moron, please? Pam J says, Steve Schmidt said about DT's BS TS Post, these are the sick and demented words of a Nazi. They are the words of a president of the United States on Memorial Day 2025. They do not require... Dun, 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 dun. You just left me hanging there, Pam J. Susie Jones, I was slurring Truth Social. Oh, I was. Oh, okay, yeah, because the earlier thing. Okay, I got you. MJ Daniel says between the continuing corruption and psychotic behavior of the DJT administration and Amazon canceling my favorite show, goodbye to them. I am having to really watch my language. Yeah, MJ, because we don't want any bad language. Come on now, this is a family show. I think. Come on. I'll get all the kiddies right and gather around. It's time for Trucker John. Christina Weibel says, not going to happen, John. What was not going to happen? Oh, about the one day. If we can get one day, yeah. Pam J says, YouTube won't let me post the rest. Oh, interesting. Did you just run out of words? Maybe because there's a word count, MJ Daniel says, not even one day. Kim Jong Trump is a psychotic toddler. We're only a few months into this shit, man. It already seems like it's been like 10 fucking years, This is only almost June. Almost 6 months, I guess. God, it seems like 60 years. Okay, maybe not 60, but maybe 6 years? I don't know. It seems too goddamn long. Pam J, there's the rest of it. Oh, clarification, explanation, or explication. They stand on their own. They are evidence of rot, evil, and mental illness. They are words of derangement and madness. They are words of Donald Trump. Yeah, Donald Trump, I mean, I could say this over and over again. Yeah, the guy is not right in the head. And but there's still he still has MAGA, man. They still love him. They still think he's fucking awesome for some reason. They think he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. They think he's a guy they'd like to have a beer with. When in reality, he would not want to even get near them, other than his campaign rallies. But other than that, it's not a two-way thing there. Christina Willow, Dinky has to go. Sandy Foltz says, Trucker John, I had gone to the ER the other night. I was having asthma, and I had a bad cold. The guy upstairs was smoking, and the smoke was coming down to my apartment. He smokes like a chain smoker. Oh, that's awful, Sandy. Well, I'm glad you were able to get to the ER and get some help there. But I don't know. What do you do about the smoke? If the apartment, they're going to let people smoke, that sucks. I don't know if you can get like some sort of a air thing. Do they have air things that like filter the air for you, like an air filter thing or something? I don't know. Hey, James Williams, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon. Hey, there's Golf Marine. We got Golf Marine in the chat. Says, I think I was talking about this on the last show. You don't have to have died on the battlefield to have given your life for your country. And I did mention that a lot of people get killed during training, and they gave their lives just as much as anyone else, because they were ready to put their lives on the line, and they did. In getting, even though it was a training, it's still just as important to the country, Kellahell is here. Hello, Kellahell. Good to see you. Christina Weibel, he does often in his diaper. Air purifier. There you go, Roxanne. Maybe you can get an air purifier? And then Susie Jones says an ionic air cleaner helps a lot. I don't know how much those things cost and everything else like that, but maybe you might want to look into getting something like that if you can. MJ Daniel says this is very dangerous, and every American not lost in the Magoo cult need to start paying attention to just how dangerous things are becoming. Well, we are seeing some splits. I think we are seeing some realization, little by little. I think the MAGA cult is sort of tearing apart, or at least some are falling away, little by little. Golf Marine says Ion in '87 at Red Flag Nellis Air Force Base. Today I see them as clear as any time. Yeah, Golf Marine, sorry for your loss. And like I said, they are part of this Memorial Day, just as if someone had served and lost their life out in a battlefield. Christina Weibel's got a storm coming. MJ Daniel says we visited a World War II fighter that crashed training in the mountains outside of my hometown of Walla Walla back when I was in high school. Yeah, I don't know how many times over the years, I've heard of um, soldiers or Marines or in training exercises that, especially out in the desert, out in Barstow, out near Fort Irwin, and then out in the desert north of there, they go out and they do exercises. They do like war games, and they do all kinds of stuff. And every now and then, you would hear about guys, rolled a jeep or something and got killed. These things, they happen, and that's, you know we got to train. We got to train. We got to get ready for to be ready for when called. Those guys got to train, and sometimes accidents happen out there. Sandy Folt says the apartment building is supposed to be smoke free, but uh, the I don't know, I'm gonna say asshole upstairs won't go by the rules. Well, maybe, I don't know. You gotta. I'm kind of torn here because I don't like want to tell you to be a snitch or whatever, but you can't have your health be at risk because some asshole doesn't want to abide by the rules. So I don't know. I think I would keep complaining to management or something and tell them, hey, look, I got asthma, and this guy's smoking, and his smoke is coming down into my unit. You guys got to do something about that. Here's my bill for the ER. Just give them just keep them giving your bills or something. Look, I had to go to the ER. Here's the bill. You guys can take care of this. You know, and you got to do something about this guy because he's sending me to the ER. That should put a little fear into them. They don't want tenants having to go to the ER because of something that they're not taken care of. I would think. James Williams says MAGA is and has always been Moscow agents gunning America. Well, the rubes, I guess rubes, that's a word, right? That are here in America. I mean, the ones that you see, the ones that I saw at the Trump rally in Vegas, for instance, they don't know their fucking asses from a hole in the ground. I mean, they really don't know. They just get everything force fed to them through Fox News and through right wing media, and that's all they know. They just, swallow all the propaganda, the right wing propaganda, and that's all there is. That's the whole truth, and that's nothing but the truth to the maggots. And whatever Trump says, and whatever he posts on Truth Social or whatever, it's the God honest truth. That's the gospel truth to them. And I don't think they have anything to do with Russia or anything else like that. They're just fucking cult followers. They're in it just because they've been so propagandized that they can't see or hear anything else. Mr. Bob Newell, Barstow, I had an experience there. Good old Barstow. James Williams says the first wave of Russian mafia and agent provocateurs came when the old USSR collapsed. Hey, Josh. Josh says, hey, TJ and Loungers. Hello back at you, Josh. Thanks for hanging out with us for a little bit here on this Memorial Day. Golf Marine says, I spent 8th and 9th grade years in Kennewick, just north of Walla Walla. Used to love jumping in the river down there off the bridge. Would that be the Columbia River? Willie Weed says, missed you guys. Hey, Willie Weed. Thanks for joining us here in the Old Drivers Lounge. Good to see you. Mr. Bob Newell says, call a lawyer. I think talking about Sandy. Yeah, there's something that if it's a smoke-free building and you're getting sick from somebody else violating the rule and the management doesn't want to take care of it, then yeah, maybe calling a lawyer would be is a good idea. You might get a little, you might get a little something. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Bob Newell, Donnie got a busted stinky ass jet. It's the art of the deal. Josh says, hope everyone is having a peaceful and respectful Memorial Day. Thank you, Josh. Sandy Foltz says I had made Memorial Day cupcakes and deviled eggs and stuffed celery and macaroni, baked beans, and corn on the cob and barbecue chicken. That's my dinner for today on the holiday, and it sounds absolutely lovely. That, my friends, is how you do it. That is a Memorial Day feast, and sounds very nice, very good. Golf Marine says, anyone else here ever spelled the price of even facilitating commerce? As far as I remember, it smells a lot like burning flesh. Boy, that's pretty cryptic. Pretty cryptic statement there. Susie Jones reminding everyone to please remember to pick all messages. Top sucks. And as you did that, I looked up to make sure I'm on all messages, and I am. We got 42 watching, 43 thumbs up. Thanks for those thumbs ups, guys. Like I said earlier, somehow I've lost 6 subscribers in the last, I think, week or two. That's unheard of. Trucker John doesn't lose subscribers. Trucker John gains subscribers. What's going on with you people? The ones that left. They're not here, so why am I talking to them? Golf Marina says, at least that's how it smells in the Persian Gulf. Wow. I was never in favor of really the Gulf War, this whole thing of like a war for oil type of thing and all that shit. MJ Daniel says that DJT is whining like a baby about his boss Putin, making him look like an imbecile that he is over Ukraine. Yeah, I don't like it, and I don't like it. You don't? Well, okay, maybe there's something we can agree on. Hey, maybe there's something we can agree on there. I don't like it either. So maybe, DJT, you should just go all in with Ukraine and go, hey, we're going to send Ukraine a fucking $1 trillion worth of shit. Putin. So there. Brooklyn, you have to be able to afford a lawyer. There might be some legal aid services or something. There might be something that's available. You can check into it. But speaking of which, don't let me forget. Tomorrow, you guys remember it's already been almost 2 weeks since the day when I rushed. I ended the show and I rushed to go over to my eviction sealing clinic that is being held by the free legal aid center here in Vegas. That'll be 2 weeks tomorrow. Remember? Because I was there 2 weeks early. The actual clinic is tomorrow, and it's free, and that's tomorrow at noon. So, just a reminder to myself, basically, to make sure I go and don't miss that because I want to do that. I want to attend that. I think that would be great if I could get that thing sealed, and then maybe I could get the real apartment that I really want. Susie Jones says, Sandy Falls, what time? I'm in. What do you stuff celery with? Really, I know. We should all go over to Sandy's. Going to Sandy's for Memorial Day. Gulf Marine, remember the USS Stark? FFFG? What does that mean? For fucking fuckity fuck? I don't know. Marcia says, Gulf Marine, I've only smelled burning flesh once going by a horrible car accident. I'll never forget it. Yeah, it must be something that would really stick in your mind forever. MJ Daniels, some good parks along the Columbia River. Loved going swimming there growing up. Josh says, I smoked ribs and beef roast on Saturday. I'm still working on leftovers. So did you smoke those in a did you roll those into a joint or did you use a bong? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Um, the Soul Craft says I have homemade ice cream working. That's a lot of milk, by the way. You guys just doing some great kind of traditional Memorial Day things where we barbecue and have great food and have the old. I think we did that a few times back in the '70s. We bought my dad bought one of those ice cream maker things, and I think we did that a couple of Memorial Days. Is Robert Perez here? Did I skip Robert? I think I may have skipped Robert. There he is. Sorry about that. There's Robert Perez. Says happy holiday to you and all the Democratic voters. Well, happy holidays to you. Happy Memorial Day, Robert Perez from down San Diego way. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. I skipped right over you, Robert. Didn't mean to. I did not mean to do that. Michael McAndrew with a $2 super sticker. 4 more to go. Thank you so much, Michael. Yippee! I kind of just thought I did 5 just for shits and giggles. One of these days, because it goes all the way up to like, I don't know, 50. One day I might just put 50 on there again, just for shits and giggles. I don't expect to get 50, but I might just put it on there just for the hell of it. I mean, maybe we'll get $51 ones if I do that. This is fine. Alvin Sloop says, I think I walked 10 miles yesterday. I'm wiped out today. Well, today, yeah, rest and recover today. This is your recovery day. So, yeah, prop your feet up, pop open a cold one, and listen to the old Trucker John live stream. Goff Marine says, when I was a kid, I used to make money, used to make bank cleaning up after the huge Thunderboat crowds. What a mess. Goff Marine says, it's actually a pretty damn small world when you get to talking with folks, eh? Yeah, we find out all of where we kind of cross paths in a way, or we've been to some of the same places and seen some of the same things, and yep. Roxanne says, Julie, hey hon, good to see you. Jen is a great cook. He's been cooking me amazing dinners every night with little meals for Fred, my pup. Aw, that's so nice. That sounds nice. Susie Jones says legal aid helps tenant landlord disputes. Yeah, tomorrow at noon, don't let me forget, tomorrow at noon is the eviction sealing clinic. Michael McAndrews with another one, 3 more to go. Yippee to Michael. Thank you so much, Michael. Another super chat. There we go. Yippee to Michael McAndrews. Thank you, Michael. Do appreciate you. Robert Perez says, I'm not gay, but if I was, Trucker John would be my first choice. Laughing out loud. You're so funny. Gonna make me blush. Is that how you do that? I don't know. James Williams, though, with a counter argument here, says legal aid is bullshit. No lawyer, you are screwed. Trump used lawyers to commit every crime he ever committed except the rapes. They just covered it up. Michael is not a hero. Are you talking about Michael Cohen? I think, right? Is that who you're talking about? I kind of feel that way too. I appreciate the stuff he says now, and he comes out and he bashes Trump. I appreciate all that, but I also can't help but I always think like, but you didn't change until you got caught. It was like you got caught, and then all of a sudden, mea culpa, right? But still, I still got to give him some props. I guess is that what the kids say about coming out there and just having no mercy on Trump. Oh, Gulf Marine, talking about the earlier post. This is fast frigate U.S. first USS attacked in the Gulf, 30 something casualties. Um, I think I do remember that, Gulf Marine. It's awful that we forget, and we should never forget. Michael McAndrews with another one, 2 more to go. Thank you. Yippee to Michael McAndrews with that super sticker. You're going to get another yippee. Another yippee. Yippee, Michael McAndrews. Thank you so much. And there's Brooklyn, $1.49 super sticker. Brooklyn. Thank you so much. Yippee. I'm trying to say yippee with a Brooklyn accent. I don't suppose. I bet you there's not very many people in Brooklyn that go around going, yippee. But if they did, that might be how it would sound. You might be like, yippee. Thank you, Brooklyn. I appreciate you. Sandy Foltz says stuffed celery with cream cheese and green olives. Sounds good. That sounds good. That's a good little appetizer right there. That's what you eat. That's what you munch on when you're waiting for the other stuff. You know what I mean? Marsha, welcome to Driver. Marsha, yippee to Marsha. Thank you so much for becoming a driver. I do appreciate you. Michael McAndrews, another one, $5 super chat. Thank you, Michael. One more to go. Yippee to Michael McAndrews for that. Thank you so much. This is, I'm going to get hoarse from all the yippies. But thank you, Michael. I appreciate you. Rosanna, $9.99 super sticker. Rosanna with the kitty cat who's, I guess that's a cat. Or is that some sort of a fox? Is that a fox? But is on the ground, rolling on the floor, laughing, I believe. So Rosanna, yippee to Rosanna, thank you so much. Sandy Foltz, $1.49, yippee to Sandy Foltz, thank you so much, Sandy Foltz, $1.49 super sticker. You guys are awesome. Josh says the older we get, the smaller the world becomes. And there's Fancy with a $5 super sticker. Fancy, yippee, thank you so much, Fancy, on this Memorial Day. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much for all that. Helping the show to grow and hopefully get back those 6 subscribers that we lost. But thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. Sandy says I have my own lawyer. By the way, I added the by the way. So yeah, maybe you'll look into that. I know sometimes you don't want to cause. I just say we, whatever. Maybe it's me. Don't want to cause waves or whatever. Because you at the end of the day, you're all living in the same building, and you're all gonna like bump shoulders or whatever, elbows, at some point, and it could be kind of uncomfortable or whatever. But still, if you're getting your asthma and you got to go to the ER, that sounds serious to me. So I hope you can get that figured out or rectified. I think rectified might be the word I was looking for. I don't know. Gulf Marine says he looked Trump in the eyes in court and testified against him. Yeah, absolutely, Gulf Marine. Like I said, I'll give him props for that. But there's still a part of me that goes, yeah, but you didn't do anything until you got caught. You were but hey, look, mea culpa. He's seen the error of his ways. He did, like you said, he testified against Trump, and now he's kind of making it his life passion or whatever mission to bring Trump and the Trump family down. So yeah, I got to give him some props and points for that. James Williams says Cohen didn't really have any choice, did he? That time in solitary weighed on his mind, I'm sure. Pam J with this $2 super sticker. Thank you, Pam J. Yippee, Pam J. With a looks like a person there with some heart sunglasses, looking down over him like that. Sandy folks, where does the money go from super stickers? It goes into my YouTube account. Susie Jones, yeah, it says I get 70%. Yeah, because YouTube takes a cut. But, it is what it is. Josh says, "Is Wes still here?" That 11 out loud. That could be. Yeah, right. That's true. He may have. But Wes is still. I believe Wes is still a subscriber. But yeah, if he unsubscribed all of his accounts, that might be that could account for that. But pretty sure he's still a subscriber. Robert Perez says, "I wonder if he still has some dark information on Trump that is even worse." I guess talking about Michael Cohen. If he does, I don't know what he's holding back on. I mean, I don't. If he has something, he should put it out. Like right now. James Williams says Cohen safely depends on him being highly visible. It is self-preservation. Trump is still president. Ask Epstein. Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, make sure you're out there. That might be some insurance that you don't get knocked off. Or a little bit maybe. Golf Marine says, "Do you get enough to pay for premium? Premium gas? Right? Do you get enough to pay for premium, TJ? Are you talking about premium YouTube or premium gas? I don't know. I'm going to plead ignorance on that. I don't know. Sandy Foltz, aren't you going into work tonight? Yeah, I'll probably go to work. Probably do a 4 to midnight. I've been doing these 4 to midnights. That seems to work out pretty good for me. I like 4 to midnight. 4 o'clock my time. So yeah, I got a few hours yet. So Sandy Foltz, what's going on with apartment hunting? Well, I kind of stopped hunting. Like I said, I put in that application for that one Desert Palms Apartments, and as I've said on past shows, I've been calling and no one's been answering the phone. And then I figured it's Memorial Day weekend. I'm not going to keep calling. The last message I did, I think it might have been yesterday. Or no, I think it was. I don't know. I think it was Friday. I think I called on Friday, and again I left a voice message, and I just said, "Hey, this is John again, John Fowler. I'm just wondering what the status is on my application." And I said, "Okay, so this is Memorial Day weekend, so you guys maybe no one's there. I'll just call back on Tuesday to see what's going on." So that's what I'm going to do. I'll just call back tomorrow, I guess. So Joe says, "Be right back. Skipping to the loo, no peeking." No, try not to. Marcia says, "Someone please ask Sandy Foltz if she blocked me, please." So Sandy, Marcia is in the chat. She apparently can't see your post, so she's wondering if you may have blocked her. So that was from Marcia. She wants to know if you blocked if there's anyone on your block list named Marcia, because she can't see your posts for some reason. And hopefully, Marcia, you're on all messages. And then Fancy says, "Sandy, did you block Marcia?" Government YouTube Premium. What? the fuck are we on right now? Well, YouTube Premium is what you get. That's what you pay. That's what you sign up for. So that you don't have. I guess so you don't have to watch commercials. I have YouTube Premium on my main account, so I don't get any ad interruptions. But on my other accounts, my Fowler's Wrath and my Feed on the Dashboard account, I don't have premium on those, so I do get ads when I go on those channels. But that's for each individual YouTube subscriber. That's for you to do to buy a premium package, so you don't get ads. Ramprez, you need to comb your right eyebrow. It's taking my attention away from what you're saying. Let's see. Is it this one? It's kind of going in its own direction there, isn't it? It's kind of going. It's got a rogue element. Did that help? I think that might have helped. I don't know. Now you're going to get me on the eyebrows, Robert. I'm going to obsess about my eyebrows now for the next 45 minutes. Thanks, Robert. I don't think it helped. Fortunately, though, I mean, I can barely see it because it's like a gray one. All these are either gray or kind of blondish, and so you don't really see them too much. Do they make actual like eyebrow combs? I think that might have helped, but I don't know. Brooklyn's like, no, don't get him started on the eyebrows again. We're gonna do an hour about eyebrows now. Golf Marine, does YouTube pay you enough to cover? I gotta spell this shit out. Yeah, you do. Talk to me like I'm a 4-year-old, please. Uh, okay, so YouTube Premium, I think it's like, what is it? 15 or something bucks a month. So yeah, I guess yeah, it does. I would say yeah. Pam J says I didn't know you could block people. Yeah, I believe so. I think you can just click on their name and you could block them. I believe. Sandy Full says I used to work the 4 to midnight shift at Seneca Niagara Casino. Oh, you worked at the casino, huh? Fancy says, yeah, right click on them. Pam. Rob Perez says it's off on my TV, but I see messages on my phone. Soulcraft says, isn't it like 15 bucks? Yeah, that's what I think it's like 15 or 15.99 or something like that. Sandy says I have not blocked anyone. So yeah, I don't know, Marcia. Sometimes the YouTube has its little foibles, I guess, and it has glitches, and sometimes these things happen. Covering, say it louder. Marcus Mills, thank you for the membership. That was, I believe, from Fancy, right? Was it no, who? Or was it correct me in the chat, who did the gifts? I think that was it Nurmas or something? But yeah, so make sure to thank that person. I believe that was from today. If you just got yours today, that was from. If you got yours the other day, that was someone else. But, Gary, can I call you Gary? Yippee, 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 yippee. Yep. Government. I fucking knew I had to spell it out. Hey, you know, it is what it is. The Soulcraft says, I have to admit, ads during a music playlist, especially if you're biking, I can't use hands to skip. It's a pain in the ass. Yeah, it's nice to go commercial free. It's like when I used to have a Spotify account, I always got the premium because I hated the commercials. But once they the very first time when they gave Joe Rogan that huge fucking like $200 million contract or whatever the fuck it was, that's when I said, okay, I'm canceling my premium membership to Spotify. Fuck you guys. Joe Rogan's an asshole. And I put that money into House Sparks, and I became a sparkler. I became I guess you don't have to be a member to be a sparkler, but I became a member. I thought, okay, the money that they were going to give to Joe Rogan, I'd rather give it to House Sparks. And apparently, I think that's been about 14 months ago because that little membership thing comes up. Pam J, I guess we're talking about eyebrows. Pam J says, mine do that too. It's from face sleeping on the right side of your face. It's from sleeping on the right side of your face. I've used tape for about 15 to 20 minutes to press it back down. Combing won't help. It just pops right back up. So that is that what I gotta do? I gotta get some tape. I do sleep kind of on my side and my face and all that kind of shit. Plus I have a CPAP machine. But it doesn't go over my eyes. I mean it's over my mouth. Like this. Anyhow, I was seriously thinking. Remember last week people were talking about I should do a live stream of me sleeping, and I was almost going to do that the other night of me sleeping with my CPAP machine on. But then I thought, nah, that's kind of weird. That's just too weird. Fancy's got some mac and cheese going. Marcia says that yes, I am on all messages. Okay, well, like I said, YouTube sometimes has glitches, and you just never know about YouTube. I mean, I think overall, YouTube is pretty good, but I guess everything is going to have some kind of a glitch every now and then. I really do like YouTube. I don't want to bash YouTube. Like Facebook, I don't give a fuck about Facebook. I think Facebook is shit. Of course, X, I deleted my account from Twitter X last year sometime because that's a total shit show. Twitch, I just kind of don't like it. I kind of don't like the format, or it's just maybe I'm just not the right demographic for it. Although I do have a Twitch channel, and we are on Twitch right now. Let me go and check Twitch real quick. Is anybody there? Probably Aaron and Jolie. I don't know. Might be the only ones, but we are on Twitch as is Trucker John 3, and nobody's there. Hello, Twitch. There's Twitch there. It kind of froze up on me. Also, I am on Facebook, like I said earlier, on the Trucker John. I mean, on the Progressive Radio Station list channel. So if you prefer Facebook, I think it's still live. Yeah. If you do prefer Facebook, look up the Progressive Radio Station list page or channel, whatever they call it. And I'm on there. But I do like YouTube the best. I think it does good. I think it's pretty good format overall. But there are sometimes glitches and things that happens. And it could be on their end, or it could be on your end. Who knows? Yeah, the Soulcraft. You can see your block list. Yeah, you can. There's a way of checking out in your settings there, or whatever. Anybody you've blocked. Robert Perez says that's why I smoke weed. When things go wrong, it doesn't bother me so much anymore. Kind of takes the edge off, I guess, huh? Marshall says, Trucker John, what will happen to Tough Cookie with that eyebrow? Well, nothing, because Tough Cookie has really some nice, thick blue eyebrows. Fancy styling gel works. I don't have any styling gel. I used to have styling gel because back when I had a little bit more hair and I would kind of cut it short and kind of spike it a little bit. And I put a little styling gel in there and spike her up. Roxanne Epstein says the Soulcraft. I watch in my shower and the ads come up and I bust my ass to dry a finger to skip. That shit makes me twitch. That's funny. That's hilarious, Roxanne. That is hilarious. Susie Jones, I have returned. All right. Here's Jolie with the check your blocked users, and there's a link there apparently that will take you to your block list. Brooklyn says, "How pathetic am I? I would watch you sleep. I would feel weird. Like, I mean, I would be asleep, but leading up to the point that I fell asleep, I would feel like weird, like people watching me sleep. I don't know. I might do it though, just for the hell of it, one time. I might do it. I might set the camera up, the phone, but it'll be kind of dark. Maybe I'll leave a light on in the kitchen to get a little bit of light. Otherwise, it'll be just totally pitch black. I might just do it. You never know. You never know, man. Pam J says Facebook is shit, but Hal's chat in there is super great. Yeah, well, Hal does have a great chat no matter where you go. It seems like, but whatever platform you watch him on, he gets a pretty good chat room. Gary kind of call you Gary. He says that Hal doesn't like him for some reason. I don't know. I don't know why you would think that. Unless you said something really, really awful. The Soulcraft 20 after. So I'm only 2 minutes behind. Kellahella says YouTube can shadow ban you and you'll never know. Yeah, that must be what's happening to me because I should have 1 million subscribers by now. But I think they've definitely shadow banned me. Josh says I should get back into Discord again. I had it for a game years ago. I have Discord also, but I don't really use it other than to just either say hi to Jolie every now and then, or to just post my shit, that I'm coming on YouTube. I don't really have a lot of time to just sit in Discord. You know what I mean? Search for You says, don't pluck the eyebrows. You might need it someday down the road. You never know. That's true. You never know. You might need that eyebrow. Gary Kennecally Gary says, you may have lost one more subscriber because I'm still subscribed as Tom Bias. So I doubled my end of things. Well, there you go. You've done your share, Gary Kennecally Gary. You've done your part. I appreciate that. Brooklyn says, that was a nice breakfast you had this morning. That actually was yesterday morning. I did have a nice breakfast this morning too. But that one where I posted for the Indy 500, that was from yesterday. And yeah, it was good. I made some pancakes. I made a cheese omelet, some hash browns, some sausage, some coffee, some orange juice. Yeah, it was pretty much a feast fit for a king. Probably not. Josh, I fart too much at night. I was wondering that too. Like, if I had my sleep cam on, I don't know if I fart when I sleep. I guess everyone does, right? Maybe that's what people watch for. They're like, is this guy gonna fart? And I've never really been like a talker, like because my cousin is used to always talk in his sleep when we'd have sleepovers when we were kids, and he would talk in his sleep. Now I think there have been times when I have talked in my sleep, and I've kind of woken myself up, but I don't think I do it all the time. I think it's kind of a very rare thing for me. But maybe that's why people would watch a sleep cam. It's like, is this guy going to start talking in his sleep? Is he a sleepwalker? Is he going to get up and walk around? Now I'm tethered to a CPAP machine, and so far that's so that would indicate to me whether or not I was a sleepwalker. I've never been a sleepwalker, but I guess if you were watching someone sleep, you might want to. That would be what you're going to see if that's going to happen. Is this person going to fart? Is this person going to start walking? Is this person going to start talking in their sleep? Um, Fancy. Turn the volume down. Down. I guess yeah. So it doesn't pick up any of those noises. Pam J says, should or is there be a maximum length for eyebrow hair? And an inch seems a bit much. 3/4 of an inch? I don't know. Maybe. I'm not a big fan of the unibrow though. I think if you have a unibrow, especially if you're a chick, you should shave it in the middle. I'm not a fan of the unibrow. Gary Kennecally Gary says, Pab, good old Pab, is threatening the Constitution. I believe that's what the Second Amendment is about. Fancy says they sell the comb scissor thing that keeps them at the perfect length. Oh, yeah. Brooklyn says, do you answer yourself in your sleep? Well, like I said, I think my talking in my sleep is very, very rare. And I really don't know. But that might be something that would be interesting if you want to watch a sleep cam. Um, the Soulcraft says, ever see the vid of that dude that licked people's eyeballs while they were asleep? That just is disgusting. Nick Growley, darkest YouTube vid. I think that was a fake, though, to be honest. I've never seen it, and I don't want to ever see it. Let's just put it there. Fancy says those hairs are too long, TJ. The unibrow ones, or what? Kellahella takes notes and ask about it later. Josh says I yell out in my sleep every couple of years like "F you" and wake up ready to go. Robert Perez says if you wake up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom, do you have to take off the mask, or do you take the whole thing? No, I take it off. But the beautiful thing for me has been since I've been on the CPAP machine, I never have to get up to use the bathroom. I just pee the bed. No, I don't pee the bed. Prior to getting the CPAP, and I think it's been about 5 years now since I had the CPAP machine, I was getting up and waking up constantly during the night to go take a leak. But now that I use the CPAP machine, I think because I'm sleeping so soundly, and I don't think it's like before I was waking up but apparently I don't really have to pee. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. I don't know how to, because I just sleep through the night now, because I think I get such a sound sleep that it would take a really strong urge to pee to wake me up. Susie Jones, I'm definitely a talker and a walker in my sleep. Wow, Susie Jones. Maybe Susie Jones should put a sleep cam on. That would be interesting to see you walking around in your sleep. Marcia says, Brooklyn, when I wake up from nightmares, yes, I'm waiting to wake up from the present nightmare. It's almost like a nightmare within a nightmare. Susie Jones, am I sleeping? This is a nightmare. Jen Up the Base says, Robert Perez, I use a CPAP too, and it's a game changer. Before I got the CPAP, I was up 6 to 7 times per night. Now at most one time. Yeah. See there? That's the same with me. I don't know if it was 6 to 7, but it was probably at least 3 to 4 times a night I was getting up to pee. And now, nada. Almost never. Yeah. Robert Perez, we have to get money and Trump out of politics. I agree. I absolutely 100% agree with that. The Soulcraft says, my dad's on a CPAP. I finally got him to sleep downstairs in case of emergency. The CPAP is important. The other day, or I guess I've been yesterday, I think I laid down and I just kind of took a nap. I fell asleep. I was watching TV without the CPAP on. And that's kind of dangerous if you have sleep apnea, because I woke up kind of like choking. I woke up and I could feel that it was like I had been choking or something. So you got to be careful. If you have sleep apnea, and if you're going to take a nap, you should put the CPAP on. Susie Jones says, I don't need a machine anymore since I had gastric bypass surgery and lost 250 pounds. Yesterday, you saw that, right? I didn't see that, but Susie, congratulations on the weight loss. And that's great. And it's great that you don't need the machine. I asked the doctor once, at one of my checkups, I said, and this is like when I first got the CPAP, because I really didn't want to be on a CPAP. And so I asked him, I go, if I lose a bunch of weight, will I not have to use a CPAP anymore? And he said possibly. He just said possibly. He couldn't say for sure, but he said possibly. It might that might help. So I don't know, but for you it did, and that's great. That for you, Susie, that's great that you lost the weight, and now you don't have to use the CPAP. I think that's awesome. Good for you. Robert Perez says, I am waking up about 3 times a night. I'll look into getting one. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you can just get one for anything. I think you have to have sleep apnea, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if you can just get one, but maybe you can. I mean, I don't think you have to have like a prescription. You can go into any store that sells CPAP machines or go online and just buy a CPAP machine. I don't think you have to have like a prescription. I don't think. And I don't think let's say if you don't have sleep apnea, I don't think there's any harm in using the CPAP machine. I'm just saying, so those are things to think about, though, The Soulcraft says, I was scared I was peeing too much at night at like 3 times. Marcia says, hello, Jen Up the Base. I need a CPAP, but insurance requires in-hospital sleep test. Won't work because I can't sleep at night in the hospital. I know from personal experience. Well, maybe they could do a remote one. That's what they did for me. Because when I got diagnosed with sleep apnea, then I had to set up a sleep test. And this was when COVID just started. So they hadn't really updated their website or whatever. So they made this appointment for me to go down to Kaiser, down in Fontana. to go do a sleep test in their lab. And I was all set to do that. And then when got close to the appointment or whatever, I was supposed to check in. And then when I think I checked in, either online or on phone, I forget, a phone call. But they said, "Oh no, we're not doing this. We're not doing the lab thing anymore because of COVID." So they said, "So what we're going to do? We're going to send you this. We're going to send it to you in the mail or whatever. It's a little machine, a little monitor, and you just like plug it in, and you have, they have those little round like sticky things." And I forget. I think it's maybe stuck it on your chest. I think maybe. I think it's just one. I think it's just one thing. I don't. But whatever it is, you stick it on yourself when you go to bed, and you turn it on, and you go to sleep, and it just monitors you, and it can tell when you stop breathing, and it knows how many episodes you have, and it will record it, and then it sends back that information back to, in this case it was Kaiser, uh, and then they analyze it, and then they give you a report, and they're like, yeah, you need a CPAP machine. You definitely have, because if it's over so many episodes per minute where you're stopping breathing, which for me was a lot. I forget what it was now, but I was stopping breathing, uh, sometimes just for a second or a couple seconds or whatever, but it was so much that it's like, yeah, you have sleep apnea, and you do qualify or whatever, and you need to get a machine. But they did it. I did it from home. I didn't have to go down to the lab. So you might be able to do that if you have a problem, or with being able to sleep someplace else like that. They might be able to. They certainly have the technology. They had it for me 5 years ago, where you can just do it remotely. Uh, Soulcraft, they put me on a halcyon because I tried to drive while sleepwalking. Wow, that's scary. Soulcraft says, luckily, I was sticking the wrong key in the ignition. Apparently, when you're asleep, you're not as smart as when you're awake. Or maybe there's just the wall between subconscious and conscious and consciousness. It just it makes you so that you can't figure out keys. Um, Jennifer Bay said, Marsha, get the sleep study. Even if you don't sleep, they'll monitor your movements, even if you fall asleep for short periods of time. And like I said, look into if they can do that remotely, and send you out this little monitor thing, and it hooks up. I guess it's through the internet. I guess because I think that when you sleep, I think it just sends it automatically right back to them. All the whatever it's collecting, whatever data or whatever it's collecting. The Soulcraft are expensive. I bought mine was a used reconditioned one. I think for $400. And that, like, brand new ones were, yeah, like over 1,000. I think I bought a reconditioned one, which I'm still using to this day. 5 years later, I'm probably gonna jinx it now. It's probably gonna break or something. Brooklyn, does the CPAP machine make a lot of noise? Well, you know what? I guess it does, but I don't notice it because I'm asleep, and so it's not loud enough where it wakes me up. But if I had, someone sleeping with me, they might not like it. I don't know. I've been sleeping alone, so um, although, like, if I visit my kids or something, I've taken it with me and I use it, even though I'm in another room and everything. I haven't heard anyone go, "God damn, that machine was loud." So I don't think I think it's maybe if you are in the same bed, it might be a nuisance or something. But for me, for the sleeper, I just go. I fall asleep. Usually, I fall asleep as soon as my head hits the pillow. I'm usually out, and then I don't feel it. But now here's the thing: when I first got my CPAP machine, I fucking hated it. I gotta tell you, the first night is the worst. I put that thing on and I tried to sleep, and it just feels so foreign to have this mask, and then you've got like this like headgear thing. It's like these straps that go around the back, and you got a thing on top of your head, and then there's a hose, and then the hose goes to the machine, and you got this thing on your face, and you're trying to sleep. It's completely foreign to you. It's completely unnatural, and you're gonna hate it. And I remember trying to sleep, and I remember just taking it off, and I was pissed. I'm like, fuck this shit. I'm not gonna do it. Fuck it. Fuck, because I had to do it. The reason I had to do it is because they weren't gonna let me drive a truck anymore if I didn't get on a CPAP machine, because they found that if you're not getting good quality sleep, you're more susceptible to falling asleep while you're driving and causing a wreck. So they wouldn't let me drive anymore if I didn't do it. But I was like, fuck this shit. I'll just fuck trucking, fuck them all. I'll do something else, or I'll just stay home or whatever. And I kind of did that for a few minutes, and then I was like, okay, look, I got to do this or else I'm out of a job. So I made a deal with myself. And I actually said this. I said, okay, look, John, give it 1 week. Give me 1 week. Every night for 7 days, wears the fucking mask. And if after 7 days, and I'm talking to myself, if you are still not able to sleep and it's still uncomfortable, it still bothers you, then we'll tell them to fuck off. And I'll just tell them I'm not doing it and whatever. And I made that deal with myself. And I said, okay. So I went back to bed, put the mask back on. It was still horrible, but I just kept it on, and I finally fell asleep. But I didn't like it. But then the next night, I put it back on again, and it was a little bit better. And every night, I got a little bit more used to it, a little bit more used to it. So by the 7th night, it really wasn't a problem. I was pretty much completely used to it by the 7th night. And so I told myself, see, John, you just gotta, fucking get used to shit sometimes. Sometimes, something's gonna happen and it's not what you're used to, but you gotta give yourself time. You gotta give yourself some time to adjust. And that's what I did. I gave myself 7 days, and it was really more than I needed, because I think by day 4, I was pretty much used to it. But just know, there's going to be an adjustment period. If you're wearing that mask and it's strapped to your head, there's going to be an adjustment period. So just be ready for that, and be willing to put up with it, and give yourself, like in my case, I gave myself a week. And like I said, that was even more than I needed, because by day 4, I think I was pretty much acclimated or whatever. Soulcraft, they have smaller, more portable version. They do have all kinds of different masks. Like mine is kind of a big mask. I kind of like my mask, actually, but they have other ones that just fit. They're smaller. Like they only go over your nose and not your mouth, I think. Maybe vice versa. They've got a whole different variety of masks, and now they also have a surgery where they just insert like an implant or something, some sort of little implant in your chest, I guess, and so you don't even need the mask at all. I don't know how much it costs. I don't know. I kind of looked into it a little bit. It seemed a little invasive, but it's supposed to just be a little incision. It's like it's like a outpatient surgery thing or whatever. I think they put the implant thing in you, and then you just activate it by using your smartphone, I guess. So there's that option, but I didn't do it because I just thought it seemed like I didn't. I'm not sure if I don't know. I just didn't know if I trusted the whole thing or that whole like it's a new surgery. Maybe if it's been a few years. Actually, it's probably that surgery's been available for probably at least almost as long as I've been on the CPAP machine. So, but yeah, there is that option that if you might want to look into that, so you don't have to wear the mask and have a machine. It's just you just have this little implant thing, and somehow I don't even know how it works, but somehow it when you're going to sleep, it makes sure that you keep breathing. Robert Perez, I'll get a piss pan under my bed. Problem solved. Well, you still have to wake up and piss in the pan. Whereas now, I don't even have to wake up. I just sleep right through the night. Jennifer the Base, Trucker John, I am convinced that waking up that many times to pee during the night was my body's response to alert me to wake my ass up because I wasn't getting oxygen. It's been a total game changer. Oh, yeah, maybe. Maybe that's what it's doing. It has been a game changer. Absolutely. Because before that, probably for maybe a couple of years before I got on the CPAP, I was getting up 3-4 times a night, and I was in a truck most of the time. Now, truth be told, I either pissed into a bottle or I got out, or I got out of the truck if I was in a place where, you know, I felt like I could do it. I would just piss on the ground. Like if I was parked in the dirt, I didn't really mind pissing into the dirt. I would not piss into the pavement, but but still, it's not like I'm at a house with a toilet and a bathroom. I'm in a truck. So it's a little bit more of a hassle, I guess. I guess that's my point. Gary kind of called Gary, just piss in an empty milk jug, throw it on the roof when it's full. But the thing is, you're still waking up to pee. Whether you're pissing into a milk jug or walking to the bathroom, you're still getting up to pee. And your sleep is being disturbed. With the CPAP, for me and for Jen up the base, we just have a nice steady sleep with no interruptions. That's the point. That's the whole point of this thing. Well, that and not dying from suffocating. Susie Jones says Medicaid pays for the test if you have it. So yeah, if you're on Medicaid, that's something that would be covered under that. At the time I was working, I had insurance, and I had Kaiser. Yeah, I had Kaiser insurance at that time. I'm just sort of skipping down a little bit. I know I was talking a lot, and the chat was going. The chat was moving along. Mr. Bob Newell, my CPAP extended my life by 4 years until I died. Rest in peace, Mr. Bob Newell. Darkly Yours is here. Darkly Yours says, I was always a sleepwalker, so I used to set booby traps to keep me from leaving the room. Are you no longer a sleepwalker? You somehow cured? Got cured? Roxanne Epstein, CPAP machine hums, or hymns at best, hums. Jolie says, apparently when you're asleep, you're not as smart as when you're awake. I'm adding that to my list of Trucker Johnisms. Yeah, Jolie, keep a list. because I had a whole list. I mean, I never wrote the list down. There were a bunch I thought would be good for like Sugar John coffee mugs or something, and I didn't write them down. So I hope you have a whole list. I hope you really have a list. Maybe someday we can put out some Sugar John coffee mugs with my words of wisdom on them, my truckerisms. You know what? I've said this before, and you guys all get grossed out or whatever. I don't use water in my CPAP machine anymore. I don't even use water. I'm completely fine. And everyone's going, you have to use water. You have to. No, you don't. I had a nurse tell me that you don't have to use water. A registered nurse told me, if you don't want to use water, you don't have to. It's completely up to you. And so I tried it without water, and I'm like, good. Now I don't have to mess with water all the time. You don't have to. And I'm completely fine with that. Mr. Bob Newell, you called yourself John. Well, what else would I call myself? Asshole? Yeah, that might be appropriate also in some cases. But I usually just stick to calling myself John. If I'm talking to myself, if I'm having a heart to heart with myself, um, Mr. Bob Newell, I-95 exit 256 representing. Brooklyn says, but how did your eyebrows feel about the CPAP? I don't know if the eyebrows really had an opinion. Actually, I don't remember them piping in. Susie Jones, the implant's electrical stimulation is how it works. I still don't know how it works, even with you telling me that. But yeah, they have that little. They have a thing where it's a solution, I guess, or a you know, or a replacement, so you don't have to use the mask in the machine. You could just have that implant. Sandy Foltz, I'm cooking, but I still have you on. Thank you, Sandy. Thanks for keeping us on. I do appreciate it. Susie Jones says Luke Beasley just broke a story about Putin threatening Dinky for saying he's crazy. Fight, fight, fight. Let him fight like a bag of rats, right? Let him fight. The kids are right in front of my window. I don't know if you guys can hear them, but I can hear them. But I mean, they're just kids. They're cute kids. And they got to burn off their energy. You know, there's not much to do around here for kids in this apartment. Unfortunately, they don't really have any like playground, you know. So they end up playing right in front of my fucking window. Sandy Foltz, why don't you get that little black device that clips on your shirt? Are you talking about a microphone? Mr. Abdul, you skipped over my good material. Yeah, I know. I did skip down a little bit. So, in the interest of time, otherwise I would be 45 minutes behind in the chat. So, Jolie says, I have a list. Well, let's keep that list. And someday I am going to call you and request the list because someday I will have a line of Trucker John coffee mugs available in my merch store if I ever figure out how to create those correctly. Because I did try and then I couldn't. It was a mess. I did. I don't know if you can see my merch store. I don't. I think all that's on there now is that stupid hat. But I think I did have some coffee mugs and stuff like that. But I didn't get the. I don't know. It didn't come out right, and I was trying to to re-edit it, and for some reason somehow I got locked out. I don't know. I'm gonna need to call the that company and call someone over the phone and tell them, hey, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know how to get back into my account to to edit things, and you know. But anyhow, I'm gonna need that list one day, so don't lose it. Josh, I prefer beer koozies over to coffee mugs. Well, yeah, we could do that too. I believe beer koozies or can koozies or whatever are available. Gary, gonna call you Gary. I shave between my eyebrows every time I shave. Um, that's funny. Fancy says I was on Top Chat all this time. Why didn't anybody tell me? Well, I did mention earlier um, something about checking to make sure. Josh says my dad got an electric implant for back pain, got him off the fentanyl patches, and he's doing much better and more active now. Nice. Gary kind of killer Gary. I heard the kids. Yeah, they've kind of moved away now. But they were like right in front of my window. Um, Pam J. Yeah, get away from my window. Get away from here. It's funny. I gave two of the kids $1 each one time because they helped me bring a couple bags into the house. So now every time I see them, they're like, "You got $1?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not just going to give you dollars." I go. Last time you guys helped me, so I gave you $1. I go. I'm not just going to give you dollars every time I see you. Jen up the base says, "Come on, Chucker John, tell them, hey, you pesky kids, get out of here. Shut the hell up. I'm live streaming." Yeah. Don't you know? You're interrupting my live stream. They have moved on, but they might come back. Who knows? Hey, Big Hook's here. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share, by the way. Thanks for hanging out. Big Hook from the Great White North. Jolie, here's a quotation, I guess, from me. It says, a piece of shit is still just a piece of shit. Wouldn't you love to have that on your coffee mug? Or your beer koozie? I mean, come on. Who wouldn't love to have that on there, huh? Marsha says, I heard the kids too. Same issue here where I live, and I don't mind except when they take my patio chair. I've had to get it several times now, and it's not easy with a walker. Might have to chain it down. Get a bike lock on it or something. I'm just skipping down a little bit here. Soulcraft, great AWOL Nation song. This kid is not all right. Yeah, I like that song. Susie Jones says, I had a person ask me for $2. I just laughed and asked, what happened to asking for spare change? Yeah, really. Very specifically, what's that, $2? Guess what? I'm the dog that caught the tailpipe, or whatever. I'm at the end of the chat. So I'm going to take a swig of water because my throat is very dry. Mazel tov, I guess. I don't know. I will probably end the show right at 2 hours because battery issues. I haven't got the thing. Who was it? Was it Big Hook or somebody said I should get one of those? I don't know. What do you call it? Double cord thingies, multiple cord. I need to look into that. There is an AT&T store right around the corner that might have something like that. that's close that I could walk to. Otherwise, I could get the Vay car, drive over to Best Buy, which is not too far away. Here's Jolie with another quote. Jolie, you weren't kidding, were you? Quote, they are gabs, greedy ass bitches. I mean, that has T-shirt written all over it. The Soulcraft says the best coffee mugs are the ones we have at Spencer's with a bowl and carb on them. Sandy Folds, hey John, do you have an air fryer? I do not. I do want to get one. I was going to get one at my previous apartment, but the thing that kept holding me back is there's a whole thing. Like I had my microwave, and then I was looking for a rack that would fit around my microwave, so I could put the air fryer on top of that. And then I got evicted, so it doesn't matter. But anyhow, but once I get into some other place that's a little more permanent, I'll figure out my cabinet space situation. I would like to get an air fryer because I think my kids have one and X has one, and I've heard other people say that they're great and they're wonderful, and so I want to get one. I don't have one right now though. Penny to Great, Fowler Power. Hey, Penny to Great. Good to see you. Fancy says I need a new air fryer. Splitter. There you go, Gary. Gary, can I call you Gary? Otherwise, AKA Tom Bias. Always having his truck in the shop. I hope you get that motor, man. Hey, you know what, dude? Maybe just forget the Ranger. Save your money up. Because in about, I don't know, a year and a half from now, or 2 years maybe, and you're saying, well, what am I supposed to do? Just walk for 2 years? Okay, I don't know. But anyhow, just think of this. There's that EV truck Slate. Have you seen that? The Slate truck? It looks very interesting. It's a 2-door EV truck. It does look a lot like an old Ford Ranger or something like that. And they're saying that they're only going to, well, only, right? I mean, I know when we're all broke and, 20 grand might as well be $1 million. But when you're talking about a brand new EV, now they're saying if these incentives are still around, which they might not be because Trump is a dick, but with the incentives that are currently in place, you might be able to get that truck for under $20,000. But even without the incentives, I think it was just going to be like around $20,000 or $25,000 for a brand new EV truck that looks a lot like an '82 Ford Ranger or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's something to think about. It's just something to think about. I know. Like I said, if you're broke, I'm broke. We're all broke. 20 grand, it might as well be $1 million, But still, for a brand new EV pickup truck, if you could get it for around 20 grand, I mean that's amazing. Just look into the Slate. Just Google Slate or whatever. I think it's SLATE. Now I would like it if they would come out with a 4-door. The whole idea is they're trying to make them, I guess, as cheap as possible and make them more accessible to a bigger, market size or whatever. But I think for a few grand more, if you could get a 4-door, I would pay the extra few. If it's to say it was only like, I don't know, 3,000 or 4,000 more to get a 4-door model, then I would hold out for the 4-door model. But that's but they haven't even said they're going to come out with a 4-door model. But I would imagine that they would at some point. If the 2-door model sells well and does well, I would imagine they would eventually come out with a 4-door model. Just something to think about. But in the meantime, I hope you get that pickup running. Um, maybe then you know more about this shit than I do, and I'm sure you've exhausted all kinds of things. But maybe I mean you can't to get a crate a motor for that. I mean that would be thousands of dollars. Trying to go to parts like a wrecking yard, trying to find a motor that that's any good, and then having to haul it or pick it out. Whatever. That could be a big hassle. So, I don't know. I don't know, man. Maybe just you might just have to give up on the old Ranger and just get something else completely for a couple grand. I just saw. I've been looking, just online. There's online car things, that come up, and they got I think it's a 2000. I don't know. Was it a 2005 Chevy Impala for like $2,400? Now, granted, I just it looked really nice, on the pictures and stuff. But you got to go and see it in real life. You got to look. You got to test drive it. You got to open the hood. You got to look, check it out. But you might be able to do something like that. Find a car for a couple of grand just to get your back and forth to work or whatever. That's what I'm kind of aiming at right now for me. Instead of always having to either rely on the bus or on Uber or on Vay. See, the thing about Vay, I love Vay because it's so cheap. Last night I got home after work. The Vay car was still there when I got off work, and I was able to take it home. I was so glad because it only cost me $6.80 or something like that. Whereas when if I Uber home with the tip, because I always tip them $5, and I give them 5 stars. So the ride itself is usually like $18 or $19. Then I give them a $5 tip on that, so you're looking at 23, $24. Um, and it's almost like, why do I even go to work if I'm spending that kind of money every day to get back and forth to work? But when it's only $6.80, I'm like, yeah, that I can live with that. I can live with $6.80. So that's why I love the Vay. But the thing about the Vay, now I don't know if it was because it was a holiday weekend and maybe more people were using the cars, but the other night, I guess 2 nights ago, because usually I'll take the Vay to work, park it at work, and when I get off work, usually, like 1:30 in the morning, those cars are still there. There's usually 2 or 3 of those Vays parked there because I think there's 2 or 3 of us that are using them. I haven't ran into the people yet who are also using them. Someday we'll get there at the same time and I'll know who it is. Um, but the other night they were gone. And after 10 p.m. there are no remote drivers and you can't get one delivered to you. And so the closest cars were like way down at the strip. So there's no way I could get to it. I couldn't walk to it or whatever. So I had to take the Uber home. And that's when it cost me, like almost $25 to Uber home. So that's one of the hang-ups or whatever of the Vay is that if the car's not there and it's after 10 p.m. and it's the cars are way too far for you to walk to, then you can't use it. That's the only holdback to the Vay. So that's why I would like to get my own vehicle again, and I wouldn't have to rely on Vay or Uber or the bus. The bus, that's the cheapest way to go. You can get a monthly pass for I think $60, and if you used it every day, the bus, you would really get your money's worth. But the thing about the bus I don't like is that it's inconvenient and it takes over an hour to get to work. Whereas when I drive, either Uber or myself, it's like a 15-minute drive. So anyhow, I just see that I am down to 10% state of charge on the battery. So I think we should call it quits. We're at 2 hours and 6 minutes. I want to thank everybody here for all the super stickers and the super chats, the membership gifting. You guys are awesome. You all get a yippee. But also everybody who's just here and you're liking, you're subscribing, you're sharing the show. Everyone who is in the chat, contributing to the chat. You guys are awesome. That's just as important to me. So thank you guys. You guys get a yippee for that also. Thank you so much um, for that. And also, there might be someone who wants to say something before we go. Yeah, here I am with my beautiful blue eyebrows. And you can see I am red, white, and blue. So that's more than Trucker John could ever say. I just want to say, hey, happy Memorial Day to everybody. And have a hot dog and some barbecued beans. And think of and take a moment to think about all those that have gave all, so that you could enjoy that weekend and you can enjoy that barbecue. That's all I got to say. I'll see you guys later. And I as well would like to say uh, thank you to all of those people that have given their made the ultimate sacrifice so that I can wear my purple beard. You know, there's some countries where I might be executed for wearing a purple beard. You know, I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. Maybe do you know? I don't know. Could happen. But not here in the good old USA. I can wear this purple beard anywhere I want. Okay, and it's because of people who we are remembering today. And I just want to say thanks. Thanks to everyone. Thanks to them. All right, guys, and we will see you tomorrow. All right, we will be back tomorrow. All right, thank you. Very nice. They were very nice today, weren't they? They were kind of pleasant. Um, but yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. 9 a.m. We'll do Tuesdays, Thursdays. We'll do the 9 a.m. Pacific times, and I think I'm going to try to do Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. I hope I don't burn out Aaron and Jolie, but we might be doing some more shows Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I think I'm going to try for noon, or maybe I should do it more like around 11, just to so people can just jump in right after Hal. Things are kind of experimental right now, I guess, but tomorrow, be on the lookout. Just be on the lookout for Chugger John. It'll be sometime after Hal on Wednesday. Tomorrow will be 9 a.m. Pacific time. All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And again, thank you guys so much for all of the everything, liking, subscribing, sharing, being here, and contributing. Greatest chat. I think I would put you guys up against house chat any day of the week, except for the fact that you are house chat for the most part. But you guys are awesome, and I think that's about it for today. Jen up the base says, "Try plucking those too long eyebrows." I'll work on it. I'll work on it. All right, and Gary, yeah, I appreciate you too. Tom or Gary, whatever. Thanks so much. Thanks, Jolie, for being here. I do appreciate you for helping me out, and thanks for compiling that list. Maybe someday I'll get my shit together and we can put those on a mug or something. All right, guys, have a great one. Enjoy the rest of your Memorial Day with your family, with your friends, and just remember and be grateful for their sacrifice, because that's what enables us to be here and do the things that we do. All right, guys. And also, if you do have time to write something down, you might want to get a pad and pencil, pen, whatever, and write down these words of wisdom. Right? That's part of the show. We got to do. I can't forget to do that, so I got to do that. So anyhow, here we go. You ready? Here we go. Write this down. All right, guys. So what you want to
Well, it's time to say goodbye.
has come to an end. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes, but if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hostile of Easter, baby, the show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I tried to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid, but doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kick. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream, this is where we win, right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, this time to say goodbye, the show is coming in. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again.
Trucker John, on the road he rides, live streaming all through the nights. From politics to pop culture he speaks, no topic is off limits, nothing is weak. From Vegas to the highways, he'll never tire, shouting about food, talking about desire. He's the rebel of the asphalt, the king of the night, with a microphone in his hand, he's ready to ignite. Freedom is his fuel, passion in his soul, gotta express himself, gotta take control, moving through the country, keeping it real, no filter, no holding back, nothing to conceal. Rolling down the highway in my rusty old rig, I'm a retired trucker, but my spirit's still big. Living in Vegas, where the lights never sleep, broadcasting my thoughts for the world to keep. From politics to pop culture, I've got it all, sharing my views.
fight. From my apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free. In my apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free.